A few months ago, I wanted to get outside of my room, outside of my house. I had been working remote for 2 years and I was doing an online school. I didn't really have any peers that I would talk to because of the type of school that I was going to, and I didn't have any colleagues to talk to. And the only people I really hang out with were my friends that are online that were all across the country, actually. So I wanted to get outside and I decided to apply, built up the courage to apply to a local community college. I wanted to do something that was hands-on, so I chose like a simple drawing class. I had done a little bit of doodling, but not really like a lot. Art isn't exactly my strong suit, but I'm like decent enough at it to do stuff sometimes. I view it as a way of practicing getting my thoughts and ideas down on paper. That's really like when I first started drawing, I was wanting to improve at my drawing ability so that I could get my ideas down on paper better. Because I viewed it as like, the old saying is like writing to improve like clarity and thought, like increase your writing, like something like that. And then I was thinking like, the same could be said for drawing, like to improve your clarity in what you see and how you see, you should improve your basic drawing fundamentals, because writing is to thinking as drawing is to seeing. I don't think that's exactly true one-to-one, but it's close enough for what I wanted. So I finally signed up for the class. Days came, showed up. It was definitely different and also the same of what I was expecting, especially having 2 years of college experience but not actually seeing or interacting with anybody, like just the college work. But then like there's people involved now, and it's like art class, so everyone's like, there's only like 20 people. It's definitely very, very different. I remember being kind of very nervous when I first started, but I kind of got the hang of it. People, like art people I can kind of chill with. I don't feel like I need to be too like extrovert or introvert around them. I feel like they're, that everybody's kind of like chill and got their own vibe going on, so I can kind of blend in that way. The funny thing is, I was like the only person there that wasn't going for some sort of art-related degree of some sort. So I was kind of like, not an outsider. I was just like some computer guy that just was interested in improving their drawing skills. And I kind of viewed it honestly as a extracurricular activity rather than a college course, because I was already, and I'm still going to a different online college. So if I don't get these credits to transfer into the online institution, it was just a $300 experiment, and I actually got to meet people, so it was fine for me. But once I started to get into the actual drawing stuff, I realized that my drawing skills were not as bad as I had thought, but also not as good as they could have been once we started to go through some of the basics of like gesture drawings. Like this is something that I knew existed, but was just like never ever looked at. I was very much a like, my drawings need to be like not perfect, but they're supposed to be representations of the thing. So I've got to draw like the lines, outline it, try to get the shape and proportion accurate. But gesture drawings was like, yeah, we're just going for like the form of the thing and not like the actual thing itself. Like draw a line straight through the middle. I'm like, through the middle, there's like contours. Like you can't just draw a line where there's no line, people. Like, what are we doing? So that's like my mindset going in. I was very small, had to have like very controlled and realistic drawings, and it was just like I was very much, I didn't realize that this is how I viewed art, was this contour lines and like these shapes. And I guess part of it was influenced by like all the cartoons I would watch. They had this style that was just 2D, flat, has a nice outline, so it's like easy to redraw like tens of thousands of times, because that's what cartoons are. But I didn't realize how much that influenced how I saw drawing, how much I like wanted to go down that path. So my teacher would challenge me. She's like, how do I get you to draw bigger? Because literally some of my first drawings with contour lines were so small that they took up like barely a fraction of the page, because that's the scale that I was comfortable with. And it was nice because I was so detailed oriented, and if I really wanted to, I could spend lots of hours doing on this, and I wasn't interested in this taking up a lot of time. I just wanted to go there for the social aspect, to get some hands-on work. I wasn't really interested in necessarily improving my art, just so much as like getting outside of the house. But this kind of like brought up this interesting idea of like, how do I get you to like draw bigger? How do I get you to make like more detailed? So for at the beginning, I was like, how do you get more details? Like, well, that's going to require so much time, like I don't have that time to give to something like this. Especially like the bigger the art is, the more accurate I have to make it. And that's when we did a self-portrait. I ended up having to spend lots of extra hours. And in my mind, this is how I was viewing it. I had to spend more time making it more accurate because I was going slightly bigger. And that was my mindset going into it. And as I went further and further, and as I got to where I am now, I would say I've had to kind of accept that if I want to get the assignments done in the time, I have to go bigger, make strokes, and like worry less about the proportion, worry less about the scaling, and focus more on like the process of making the art. I've also spent a lot more time thinking about how I think during the art process. And I realized that the more and more I think about, okay, I need to get this detail, I need to work on this shadow, I need to work on this, it takes me away from actually just doing and like removing the thinking part and just focusing purely on the process. And overall, I've gone outside significantly more having this class, and I've met some cool people. And it's part of the reason why I've got the fancy outfit. We decided to do like a little fancy photo shoot day, which was super fun. So yeah, I did art, I guess.